Hey everyone, I wanted to take just a few moments to show you, I don't even want to call it a beta version, it's still an in development version of a new resource that we have launching in August or September 2023 called Healthy Churches Toolkit. Very excited about this resource, and I'm sharing it to you now so that you can get on an interest list and get access to a special early access discount code. You guys will be the first ones that get access to this resource when it's ready, Lord willing, in August. And before we do a broader launch, and you'll get it at a special rate as a thank you for being sort of our earliest users. Most of this is not ready for prime time yet, so I'm just going to show you a little bit of what we have developed, show you a couple of the features, and there's more to come as we continue to develop the site. But I want to just give you a sneak peek at what is on the horizon. So the first thing when you log in, you'll see your dashboard. So it's going to have your picture that you'll upload, your profile picture, and have your personalized with your name. And then there are five sort of key areas of the Healthy Churches Toolkit by the Malphurs Group. The first one is training modules, which we'll go here in just a minute, but this is our main training content. It's divided into two sections: core training modules, which are the fundamental things that are most important. And it's also going to have some secondary training modules, which are supplemental to those core things. I'll show you this in a minute as we have some of this ready to go right now. A resource library, and all these books that are behind me, I've got books on books of Aubrey Malphurs books. There are dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of assessments, templates, tools, audits, evaluations that Aubrey created over the course of his career. We're in the process of digitizing all of those and putting them into PDF form for you to be able to search and download and use, which I think is way more accessible than having a book on your shelf. So we wanted to digitize all those. We're working on that right now. This is an area of the site that's not ready for prime time quite yet. But also we have other resources that aren't part of Aubrey's books that we've just made over the years that are used in our strategic envisioning process or as supplements to that process. And all of those are going to be available for download in the resource library as well. And so you'll be able to access all of those right here. My groups, this is kind of an exciting aspect here as well. You're going to be able to, within your church, when you sign up, if you sign up as an individual church, your church will be given a certain number of sub accounts so you can have your staff or your leadership team or certain volunteer teams sign up. And then your church will have what is similar to like a Facebook group, but it's completely private. You'll be able to share files, photos. You'll even be able to host Zoom meetings within your group. And if you've got a pro account and the ability to do cloud recording, you can actually kind of save, archive those meetings, those Zoom meetings within that. And even within your groups can have subgroups. So let's say you've got, in our strategic envisioning process, we have implementation teams. So within one church, First Baptist Church, you can have a subgroup for each of your implementation teams where they can be sharing files and sharing their progress and communicating that way. And it'd be a hub for all of your strategic planning hosted right here in the Healthy Churches Toolkit. This is a feature I'm very, very excited about. Also, if you're working with one of our certified guides, they're going to be able to interact with you through the toolkit and be able to see progress, things that you're working on, give comments and feedback, and all of that be centralized and not be chasing down 100 different emails from 100 different places. And all of this will be included in your access to this website as you work with one of our guides. I'm very excited about this feature and think it's going to add a lot of value to the churches that we're partnering with in on-site processes, as well as churches that are just using the toolkit. Our articles and podcasts, this is a very simple feature. It's all the things that we talk about each week on the podcast are just going to automatically show up here as well. And so you'll be able to still find them at the regular malphursgroup.com site. But if you log into the Healthy Churches Toolkit, it'll be a one-stop shop to be able to access those articles and the podcast. And then the fifth and final section, it says workshops. We're going to add one new resource for the resource library every month. And as a part of the release of that featured resource for the month, we will do a workshop on it. How do we use this tool? We'll host those on Zoom, and there'll be an archive of all of those workshops. And so the more we do them, the more months that the toolkit exists, the more and more workshops you'll be able to go back and watch and view. And so it almost becomes another section of training apart from our sort of more produced training modules. So again, a lot of this isn't ready to be seen yet, but let me just show you the training modules. So we have these two core training modules, our strategic envisioning and leadership pipeline design. These are the two key processes that we do with churches in on-site work and on-site consulting. And already right now, if you work with the Malphurs Group, we have a different website that exists where churches go and watch the strategic envisioning training in advance of us coming and doing the on-site workshop. So it's the exact same content that those churches access. And so it exists here in the form of a course, and churches will be able to go through and watch this training this way. So moving forward, churches, when we work with them on site, they'll access it this way instead of the existing site that this is replacing. What doesn't exist right now for most churches is this leadership pipeline design training. We filmed this earlier last year, and now it's been edited and it's produced and it's ready to go. And so churches will be able to watch all of these lessons as well to learn how to build a leadership pipeline in their church. And this will supplement that on-site process that we do with churches. In addition, we have this, the current, what all I've got added right here right now is building a biblical board. This is a supplemental secondary training module, and we will add more of these. We envision having a section on your setting or like running a good worship service, and a course on church finances, a course on other issues like that that are supplemental to what we believe are these core issues of strategic envisioning and leadership pipeline design. And then I also want to show you these group features. Now, there aren't many users on here at the moment, and so it's hard to have to simulate a group. But just so you can get a feel for some of the functionality, we have our certified guides. That they're actually, our guides haven't been added into this group yet, but once they are, we'll be able to have a feed where we're able to post things within the group, post photos. If any photos are added within the feed, those will show up. Documents, if we are going to add anything for feedback, those documents will be added here as well, things that are just internal for this guide team. Discussions, we can have like discussion forums if we wanted to have those in here. I can send invites and I can manage the team here as well. So you can imagine this looks very similar to what you'd be used to on Facebook, but this is completely private. It is hidden from the rest of the internet, and a lot of your folks maybe don't want to be on social media. This is not intended to be a social media replacement in any way. This is an internal tool for you to be able to collaborate around strategic planning and leadership development in your church. If you are an organization, let's say you're a Baptist association, you'll be able to have access to like a network type of membership where you can pay a flat fee each year and have access. All of your churches would have access to this. If you're a denominational leader, you can talk to us about how can I have all of my churches have access to this, and we'll talk to you about how we can get that set up for you. And then within that, you can have discussions and a group for just your churches and have that be internal and be able to collaborate that way. So I'm very excited about these collaboration features that are going to be available to you. So just to kind of end back here on the dashboard, these are sort of the launching points here for the main functions of the website. If you've started one of those training modules, you'll be able to continue right from where you left off right here. Whatever the most recent article will pop up right here, as well as just some activity monitors down here, members groups that you're a part of, different activity that's happened within the community as well. These are all features that may change around. The dashboard may end up looking a little bit different here and there as we continue to develop the site. But this is going to be an incredible resource. I cannot wait for it to be finished at the end of this summer, beginning of the fall. And if you are interested in getting access to the Healthy Churches Toolkit, please fill out the form. Let us know about your interest. This will be under $500 annually for access. There'll be an opportunity for you to pay monthly or to pay at an annual rate. They'll be under $500 a year. So we want this to be something that any church can access and afford, and it be really adding a lot of value. And we're going to continue to update it and add resources so it continues to bring value to you and your church year after year, month after month, and really become your hub for becoming a healthier church as you grow healthier disciples and healthier leaders. Thanks for letting me show you this very early phase of the site, and we can't wait to see how it blesses your church.